Hear ye, hear ye. Today we're going to practice a little dress up. As you can tell, my clothes are a little different than normal. We're going to be involved in an active learning strategy called vignettes.
What's a vignette?
Great question. A vignette is defined in the dictionary as a short sketch. So as you can see, there are lots of different clothes up here for you to wear. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the information that we've been studying and we're going to breathe with me, exhale, some more life into our already interesting textbook. Sound like a great idea?
Yeah.
All right, let's give vignettes a try. Students, we have been studying the events leading up to the American Revolutionary War. And today I'm going to have you read a section on the Boston Massacre. So I'd like you to open your textbooks to page 149. Go ahead, open them up. Find the section entitled The Boston Massacre. And as you read, I want you thinking about how you can make that come to life in this classroom. I'm going to put you into a group in a few minutes. But before I do, I want you to read the material, and in your mind, I want you thinking, how can I make this come to life in this very classroom? Remember, you're going to be able to use costume parts as well. All right, go ahead and read. All right, it's time for your groups. Group 1, Angela, Yvonne, Josh, Mike, and Haley. Group 2 is Yuli, Courtney, Patrick, Samantha. So if you're in group 1, I would like you to stand up and move your desks into this area gently. Group 2, I'd like you in the back. You're group 2, Patrick.
Yeah, I want to get killed. Yeah. So it was getting killed.
Now it is time to bring our curriculum to life using this active learning strategy entitled Vignettes. Your students will be able to role play any curricular content you feel is appropriate. How about several individuals from your favorite classroom novel? How about creating an opportunity to meet a famous poet or mathematician as well as his or her family and friends? Bring an event or artist into your room such as Da Vinci painting the Mona Lisa or Last Supper, a renowned inventor like Thomas Edison and his creation of the light bulb. How about a historical character such as Susan B. Anthony or Sitting Bull? The students will be reading, learning, role-playing, and having a wonderful time. Quieter students can play secondary individuals involved in the event or simply narrate the scene as it unfolds. This strategy not only benefits the actors, but the students observing as well. I give my students a few minutes to read some specific material from their notes, textbooks, magazines, or any other appropriate source. Students are placed in groups and then basic costume parts, nothing fancy or expensive here, are made available. Cooperative groups then perform for the entire class. It is difficult to explain the creative nature of this and other vignettes over the years. I only wish I would have had my video camera rolling for many of these performances. Student creativity continually amazes me. For this particular vignette, students have rolled up paper for snowballs, students have stood on chairs and ordered their militia to hold fast. Students have marched in my room issuing edicts and orders. The fun, the laughter, and the learning are sometimes unbelievable. Now imagine using vignettes in your content area. What individuals and events would you like portrayed by your students? I use this strategy throughout the school year. Please note how students work cooperatively in the next set of videos, rehearse in the room and hallway, and then excitedly perform for their classmates. All right, so I like that. You're going to kind of keep it flowing and let them know the different things. Good. And just, just keep reading. What can you do to make those pages kind of come to life? Just be thinking about them. Okay?
Those raincoats over there.
50% off.
Really?
50%.
Oh, lobster bits. Lobster, we're sick of you guys taking our money. Eat this. How you like it? Whoa, go down. Whoa, back up. Go down. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. Oh, no.
And now it's time to add some costumes. Josh, why don't you come on up? I think I have something nice for Josh right here.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not really going to make him wear this, but you're going to decide in your groups what you think is appropriate for the role that you're going to play. So, Josh's group, come on up. You're first. Nice, dear.
I'm really digging the dress. Welcome, Steph.
This is gonna be
You're so nervous.
I'm not gonna lie.
You're supposed to put it in your mouth.
Okay,
All right, I need your attention, please. You have had an opportunity to read the material. You discussed it in your groups. You practiced. And now you have the costumes on. Group 1 is about to make its debut for the Boston Massacre. Let's give them a little encouragement.
Yeah. Come on.
All right, good luck, group. Good
My
luck.
guys, rock on.
On March 5th, 1770, many American colonists taunted British redcoats.
Lobster
Thank
bits.
you. We're the story. You guys make anything about it. Go.
These colonists threw snowballs and yelled more insults.
Stop throwing snowballs. Stop. We have authority over you. Stop.
Captain Preston insisted that his men hold fast.
Hold back, you behind. Hold back.
But, fearing for their safety, the soldiers began to fire.
Bang. Bang. Bang.
5 people lay dead in the snow.
Vignettes will truly make your curriculum come to life. The more you incorporate this strategy, the more creative your students will become. Costuming makes this strategy more memorable, and a section of the book is dedicated to gathering items. The simplest clothing pieces from your friendly and inexpensive thrift shop make all the difference. You might want to take a moment and explain the clothing, how people dress themselves and the items they carry, maybe as educational as what your students will be saying and doing. You could also provide each cooperative group with a different event or topic and then allow the students to perform their skits in random, sequential, or chronological order. Your students can examine the vignettes critically when finished and compare what was performed with what they read. Do any discrepancies exist? For instance, these students, role-playing the Boston Tea Party, should probably be dressed as Mohawk Indians, and the American flag at the Battle of Bunker Hill didn't look like this. Incidentally, I worked with our technology department and the art department to create this ship. The next set of videos you will see relate to an integrated language arts curriculum and the book The Giver. Following this particular performance, students were concerned with inaccuracies. I was actually thinking about reshooting it, but then I thought, how awesome is this? What a teachable moment. How many times have we read a book only to find the portrayal in the movie much different? As a matter of fact, this is a great way to check for understanding. Engage your students, respectfully of course, because you certainly do not want to embarrass the performers, about the accurate and inaccurate parts of the vignette. If students do not want to wear a costume or even perform with a group, of course, I do not try and force them. However, I do try and structure the group so my more distractible students have as many positive role models as possible. As I make my way around the room, I encourage reluctant participators to at least share their ideas with the group. I am always hoping the excitement surrounding this and other strategies will motivate them to be more involved in the future. All right, students, I need your attention up here, please. I am very excited because today you're going to read chapter 1 from The Giver by Lois Lowry, and it is a fantastic book to say the least. However, I don't want you to simply breeze over the top of the words. I want you to read for understanding. How am I going to do that, Mr. Wittmann? We're going to use the active learning strategy called vignettes. And as you read, I want you to be mindful of the words, of the expressions, and the phrases, of the characters, the events, and be asking yourself, how can I make that come to life in this very classroom? That's what I want you thinking about. And there's one more thought that I want you to have, and it's this. Why at this time is
Mr. Wittmann speaking through a microphone. What does that have to do with chapter 1 of The Giver by Lois Lowry? Are you ready to give this strategy a try?
Yeah!
All right, let's do it.
And at this time, I would like you to open up your notebooks and take out a pen or pencil, please. Now I'd like you to turn to page 1 of The Giver. And you're going to read from page 1 up through to the end of page 10. So as you read, write the information down, and then we're going to have it come to life right here. Go ahead.
Students, you all had an opportunity to read chapter 1 from The Giver. And the first question I have for all of you, why am I speaking over a PA system? Raise your hands if you think you know. No. Courtney.
I think you're speaking over the PA system because in the first chapter, they speak over a PA system to like give instructions to the people to like how to live their lives and what to do in case of an emergency.
She is correct. The people get information from a PA system on how to live their lives. Let's give Courtney a little something.
Yeah.
All right, tell me something about chapter 1, please. I'll write it down. Yuli.
The month of December was very important to them.
Excellent. The month of December is important.
Other ideas from chapter 1. Patrick.
Being released is a bad thing.
Being released from society is a bad thing. Excellent.
They call themselves a family unit instead of just a family.
I like that. Family unit versus family. Chuyi.
I think Jonas didn't want to share his feelings because his feelings are a lot like harder than Lily's. Lily's is still young and like her feelings aren't like that big and they aren't like really hard to like solve. So that's why I feel Jonas didn't want to like really share his feelings.
All right, that's very insightful. Students, I like all the conversation about emotions because that certainly is a big part of the first chapter. Let me ask you this. Where is the family physically located as they're sharing their emotions? They are around a table. Yeah. Now, do you think that we could use this table to recreate that scene in chapter 1?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Gently slide your desks to the outside of the room, and Chu-Yi and Andrea, can you come up here, take the table, and put it in the center, please? All right, go ahead.
If I can have your eyes up here, please. As you can tell, I've got some wonderful hats, and I am looking for some volunteers willing to role play the characters around the table from chapter 1. Is anybody willing to help me out? All right. Why don't you come on up here, Andrea? Angela, come on up. Kevin. And Josh. Does that look like Lily?
Yeah.
Who do you suppose this is?
Mom. Gorgeous.
Dad? And? What do you think? All right. Can we give these gals a little something? Woo! All right, so go ahead, please, and take a seat around the table. There is one more very important role that needs to be played, and that is the voice that comes over the PA. Who's going to do that? All right, Derek? I'll explain a little bit what I want you to do. Okay, so just hold on to it for right now. Jonas, you're going to come with me. I'm going to explain something that you're going to do in just a moment. Come on. Students, an introduction to the giver.
A jet has flown over our airspace. Take cover immediately.
Let's talk about our emotions. Lily?
Well, I was very angry this afternoon. We had visitors at my childcare today, a group of 7s, but they did not obey the rules at all.
Today in the Department of Justice, I felt frightened for a man with multiple offenses. There's no third chances, so if he does something again, he must be released.
I believe a dinner table is a perfect prop for this making connections moment. I like to tell my students you have to eat the meatloaf before you can have the dessert. Or to use a line from the movie The Great Debater starring Denzel Washington, you do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. My students, like most I suppose, rarely get excited about reading the material, taking notes, or listing facts. In an effort to spark their interest, I may show a few costume parts, demonstrate something novel, like the PA system, or, if I have one, play a video clip from a previous performance. And in going with this dinner analogy, this gives my students a small bite of the dessert. But if they want to enjoy all the excitement associated with vignettes, role plays, simulations, skits, or other non-traditional approaches, they must study the required material. They must first eat the meatloaf before they can have the dessert. They must do what they have to do so they can do what they want to do.